And where in the world do you think you're going?
I heard a voice ask as I tried to open the door. Oh no, my plan had failed before it could even begin.
Don't tell me you're disobeying us and trying to sneak off to that party, even after we've warned you not to.
My parents stood on the staircase and glared at me. I was trying to sneak off to a friend's birthday party, but...
Of course she was trying to sneak out. What other reason could she have?
For Christ's sake, Angela, it was a rhetorical question.
My dad explained, rolling his eyes.
Whatever.
I opened the door and started leaving, drawing their attention back to me. If you guys don't mind, I'll be leaving first, I said, bowing down in true Korean style as I tried to confuse them and escape to the party. My mom shook her head.
Back to your room right this moment.
I sighed and started walking towards my room.
And young woman?
My mom called, stopping me in my tracks. I turned to look at her.
You're grounded.
It doesn't matter, Mom. I never go anywhere, so I might as well have been born grounded. I banged the door with all my might as I entered my room. Hi, I'm Maria, and I have crazy parents. They're protective to a point where it's scary. They never allow me to go anywhere that isn't school. It wasn't as terrible as it should have been anyway, mainly because of Marco, my lovely boyfriend. He made me dream of coming to school every day. Marco and I hadn't always been friends. Our classmates used to tease him because of his feminine features, and I'm ashamed to say I used to be one of the lead teasers, until I found him crying in the bathroom one day. Marco? He looked up at me angrily.
What do you want?
Why are you crying?
Why do you care? Isn't this what you want?
What?
For me to hate myself?
What? No, you're pretty, handsome. He stood up and started leaving angrily. Hey, stop! I chased after him. I wasn't teasing you again, I promise.
Then what was that?
Look, you may not look like the average guy, but you look great, always. Better than most guys and girls even. Your facial, feminine features make you look lovely.
So why do you and the others tease me every day?
Maybe they're just jealous. We both laughed. A few months after our encounter in the bathroom, we started dating, and Marco made school the best thing that ever happened to me. Like and subscribe if you want to have a partner who can make life worth living, even when you feel like giving up. Our relationship was going great until somehow my parents found out about it.
We are very disappointed in you.
My dad said, shaking his head.
After everything we've done for you, you still went ahead to blatantly disobey us and drag our family name in the mud.
What? Are you guys saying this just because I'm in a relationship? I asked, unbelief written all over my face.
Just?
My dad patted my mom's shoulder a few times, calming her down.
We refuse to sit quietly and watch you destroy your future just because you want to date some boy. We are moving this week.
What? And that was it. Next thing, I was on a plane with my parents, traveling halfway across the country. My parents were changing cities just because they didn't want me to date. That was how crazy they were. I was enrolled in an all-girls school that was considered safe by my parents. It was sad and lonely, but it got better over time, and I was able to make a few friends. About a year later, a very peculiar new girl joined our school. She was a loner and didn't want to socialize, but the girls in school had a welcoming tradition of flocking around new enrollees until they knew every single thing about you. This new kid gave information sparingly, making her a mystery, but this didn't make the girls stop bothering her. If anything, it intrigued them and made them want to know her more. One day, I found the new girl crying in the bathroom, and a heavy wind of déjà vu hit me. I remembered Marco and felt really sad. I sat beside her and she immediately jumped up, trying to run away, but I was able to catch her in time.
What do you want?
I couldn't explain it, but somehow, that question made my heart beat rapidly. What's your name, new girl?
Jean.
Janae? I laughed. Are you sure? It took you quite a while to remember your own name. Janae laughed too.
Well, you made me nervous, so my head went blank for a few seconds.
We laughed together. I'm sorry if I made you nervous or uncomfortable. That wasn't my intention. And I'm sorry about the girls here. They're all crazy like that. Keep ignoring them and just give it some time. They'll get tired and stop bothering you.
Looks like you're talking from experience.
I am. Janae smiled widely, making my heart beat faster once again.
Is everything all right? Did I say something wrong?
Absolutely not. Your smile just reminds me of someone.
Who?
My ex-boyfriend, Marco.
Oh, what happened between you two?
My parents happened. I'm sorry, I don't want to talk about it. I stood up. I'll be leaving now. I quickly left before Janae could object. Over time, Janae and I became good friends, but she never stopped being weird or secretive. She always managed to pry information from me, and I was happy to share, but when I asked her about herself, she simply shunned me. It was so annoying. My parents traveled one day, and I was so bored. After trying to watch a movie and still ending up bored, I decided to pay Janae a visit. I got her address from the principal's daughter and snuck in her room window, wanting to give her the shock of an eternity. I hid in the shadows and carefully waited for the running water to cease and for Janae to leave the bathroom so I could pounce on her and shock her. But once the doors of the bathroom flung open, I ended up being the one who received the shock of an eternity. Ah! I screamed as I ran straight for the window, jumped up and bolted. Janae spotted me and started chasing me, but I ran like my life depended on it, so she couldn't catch up to me. Janae tried to talk to me in school, but I always avoided her. I never gave her the chance to explain what I saw that day to me until she cornered me one evening on my way home from school. Hey, get out of my way right now!
Or else what?
I'll call the cops on you and report you as a stalker. I'll get a restraining order on you and I'm sure you'll go to prison. Janae bowed down her head in defeat.
I'm not stalking you, Maria. This is a huge coincidence.
Yeah, sure. Following me halfway around the country, pretending to be a girl just so you could attend the same school with me, getting close to me and all that? Don't you think these are psychotic behaviors, Marco? I'm sure you must have figured out what I saw in Janae's house that fateful day. I was still hiding in the shadows when Janae came out of the shower, only in boxers. She was drying her hair, and once I saw up close, I realized that Janae was definitely not a girl. Janae was just Marco, pretending to be a girl.
I didn't know you attended here. Heck, I didn't even know what city you traveled to. Look, I can explain everything. Just follow me home, or let's go to a private cafe to talk if you don't want to come home with me. I'll clear things up, I promise.
I agreed to follow Marco to his house to talk, but I told him I forgot something in my locker, went back to school and stuck a note in my locker saying, "If anything happens to me, Janae did it. She's actually a boy and her name is Marco." I also sent a scheduled text message to my parents with a note and my location. It would be sent automatically in 3 hours if I couldn't stop or postpone it. After that, I followed Marco home. At Marco's home, he explained that he and his family were under witness protection and nobody could know they were really here.
After you disappeared from school without any explanation, I became depressed and people started teasing me again. It was a very dark time in my life. After a few months, though, a new kid joined the school, and he was just like me. No, his features were much more prominent. As a result of this, everyone stopped teasing me and focused solely on him. I felt bad for him, so I befriended him and tried to protect him.
That's very noble of you, Marco.
Thanks. I went to visit him one night and had to hide when his father entered his room. I snuck out when his father wasn't looking and wandered the halls of the big house trying to find an exit. I got lost and found myself in his father's office, where I found documents revealing that his father was a government minister who'd been stealing truckloads of money from the government and killing whoever got in his way. I took the documents and ran out of the house. That was the beginning of my troubles.
Marco explained that he tried to report to the police but realized they were on the minister's payroll. The cops tried to seize the documents for him, but he was able to escape and run home, where he was immediately kidnapped alongside his parents. Fortunately, the CIA caught the kidnappers and released him and his family, fleeing with them to an unknown location. That was how he found himself in a new city, pretending to be a girl in an all-girls school.
I recognized you immediately, but I couldn't tell you the truth because I didn't want to put you in danger too. I tried my best to avoid you until you found me crying in the bathroom and comforted me just like old times. I couldn't avoid you anymore after that day because I still loved you, but I just couldn't tell you the truth.
No wonder I kept feeling weird that day. I guess my heart knew what my brain couldn't figure out at the time. You're a great actor, Marco.
If I may say so myself.
We both laughed. I promised to keep your secret. He smiled.
I know you will. Thank you, Maria. I love you.
I love you too. Marco and I started dating again, and it was even more exciting now because my parents were none the wiser that I was back with the reason why they moved halfway across the country. It was great, but our happiness was about to be cut short. During swimming practice one day, our nonchalant swimming teacher mistakenly switched our energy drinks before the swimming lesson and gave Marco a drink that made him drowsy instead of energizing him. Weak and confused, Marco, thinking he was a guy, went into the bathroom meant for male security guards alone, and this was how it was discovered that he was actually a guy. His secret was out, and now he had to tell the whole school the truth. The school staff were enraged at first and wanted to expel him immediately. But I convinced them that if they were going to expel him, they should just as well kill him because withdrawing him from school would mean putting his and his family's lives at risk. I explained the danger Marco was in, the fact that he was under witness protection, and why he had to pretend to be a girl. They felt bad for him and decided to let him stay. Unfortunately, once my boy-hungry female classmates discovered that there was a real guy amongst them, they went mad and started fighting over him. They didn't even care that he was already in a relationship with me. All they wanted was for Marco to leave me and date them. Most of these girls had never had a male friend before, so they went bonkers. What hurt me the most was that Marco embraced the attention and love from our classmates because he wasn't used to it. He even tried to date some of the girls in secret. Once I discovered this, I quickly called off the relationship, but Marco didn't let me go. He begged for forgiveness and a second chance, but I wasn't sure I was ready to give my heart back to him. After a few months, I noticed that he really had changed and had started avoiding all the girls in school once again, so I decided to give him a second chance and our relationship grew stronger. One day, a few strange and scary-looking men came to our school with Marco's pictures.
We're looking for this boy. Have you seen him?
We hid Marco far away and explained to the strange men that this was a girls' school. So it was confusing why they were searching for a guy in an all-girls school. The men were embarrassed.
This young man is a terrorist, and if you harbor him, you become a terrorist too. This is a matter of national security. If you ever spot him anywhere, please call this number immediately.
One of the men said while showing the card to all the students. Months passed and the CIA were finally able to build a case against the minister. Marco testified and showed the documents to the court. The minister was convinced and Marco and his family were finally able to live normal lives once again. We held a farewell party for Marco and we all cried as he left. He promised to visit often, but our principal assured him that it was an all-girls school, so boys weren't allowed, making us all burst into laughter.
I'm just kidding. This is your home. Visit anytime,
she said while hugging Marco. Marco convinced his parents to stay in the city and they enrolled him in a mixed school, not too far from my own. We continued dating throughout our time in high school and even after that. My parents only found out years later when I told them that I was marrying him.